Hey, yo, this thing going? It's your boy, Mr. Bill, aka Captain Hater, aka I don't got X's on, I got O's. You know what time it is? Another episode. Matter of fact, it's gonna be the first episode of season 3. Hold up in another thing presented by Mixed Vast Media. You already know the bass, but I guess it's a very special pod. It's a lot of family on this pod. Very a lot of family on this pod. So I'm gonna like I said, ladies first. Let me introduce. Matter of fact, this lady. The pod never came out, but she was actually my first guest when I started doing the solo pod. But yo, I'm saying, what's up, Ash?
What's going on with you, Q?
Hey, you know what it is. I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you for the invite to be a part of it.
Next, I'm trying to get this brother to do it a couple times. Actually, Ashley's little brother. What's up? I'm gonna call him Juve the Great, but you know, it might you won't be called. What's
What's
going
up?
on,
What's
man?
up? Ain't nothing, man. You know, living life. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate you having me on, Q.
Anytime. And this last brother, let me tell you, I don't know if Cuz know how much I appreciate him for he taking so much time out of his busy life to do my pod multiple times. Mr. Douglas,
Hey,
what it do?
what's going on, man? It's just a pleasure to continue to be on there and have these fruitful conversations, man. I'm just glad you keep asking me back. So,
I don't know if you know how much I actually do appreciate it. A lot. Hey, I always say it's been my thing this year was people ain't got to do stuff for you. So when people do stuff for you, make sure they know you appreciate them and you thank for it. So man, look, I had an idea of do it like a year in review pod, not go too much into the weeds, but some of the quick hits, some of the top stories that happened over the year. You know, I thought no better to do it.
yeah,
Say one more time. So yeah, I thought no better to do it with family. So I'm gonna start off with, hey, I'm gonna say a name or a phrase or a conversation. Y'all give me your thoughts on it. So let's start at the beginning of the year. Ashley, Capitol riots. What comes to mind with Capitol riots?
Foolishness. Foolishness. They out here getting federal charges. I was blown away, honestly. I just knew it was some stuff that that was something that you gonna take over the government? Like, who thinks of that type of stuff, right? For real.
White people. Oh, that's who thinks of that.
I was thinking it myself, man.
Yeah.
Hashtag facts.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Hey, Juvie the Great, what's your thoughts on Capitol riot?
Oh,
Hmm?
man, uncomfortable.
I guess with my cousin.
That right there showed me something, Q. I said, oh, man. I said, it might really be their country for real.
Look, it's the
I
crazy
see
thing.
it.
The crazy thing to me is they thought they was gonna get away with it. They thought wasn't gonna be no consequences. Wasn't gonna be, no issues. They was just we really gonna rat up her into the Capitol and make this big scene.
That's what I was going to go. I was going to say the audacity of them people, though. But, you know what I'm saying? It's all that crazy false media stuff that they listen to and believing in their mans. And then they president is sitting there on this false hope, offering all this stuff for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't personally, I still don't understand how all the people follow behind this con man like this, though. Like, dude, they never got no solid history or no real business. I know none of that. Everything he did is like a fake, fraudulent thing. Everything he did is. I don't know if y'all seen that one documentary that they had, but it was the people that basically that did the Apprentice, and they said they feel bad for painting a picture of him that they did to America because he's not like that. But people see him from that show and think it's how he is in real life. But all it was fraudulent, and they feel so bad for setting everybody up like that. It's a little late for that now, though.
I was gonna say, yeah, he done been president for 4 years and thinking about running again. Well, ain't no thinking about it. He's going to run again.
That's if you don't get locked up. I mean, they trying to lock him up on them embezzlement charges and stuff, though, supposedly. And they never get a hold of them, the right tax records.
Do you
Oh
really
yeah,
think he gonna get locked
got,
up?
got
Huh?
some charges in New York.
Yeah, them charges in New York, man. They got a new district attorney, and she's putting fire on his ass for real, man. She ain't letting nothing slide. You feel me? He tried to sue her, so she would just back up off of him. She ain't going for it though. Yeah, yes, that's the tactic he does. When somebody does something, he just continues to sue you, and he says it openly. Like he said, "I'll just sue you to stall up the process." That's what he does. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask y'all though: do y'all think that says something about our government that they was actually able to get into the building? Do
Man,
you think that make us look weak to these other countries?
but no, it's not. It's not that, man. Because anything in America that goes against white fragility is looked at as being bad. I know you remember some years back that sister pulled up in the car before she got out of the car in front of the Capitol building. She got shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's because she was black though.
Mhm.
So anything that goes against a compromise of white fragility in America is a problem. So because all them white people, they would have been fragile in their feelings, they let them go and do it. Mm-hmm. Just imagine a group of us going down there with zip ties, guns, batons.
I mean, history in the last few years just shows that it definitely would have been a different scene had there been different people out there. History.
I mean, and also it also showed me that, you know, a certain limit of power that they truly have. Like, I don't know if y'all know about this, but like the same people that got caught storming in the Capitol that's locked up in DC jail right now, they are actually complaining about the conditions in DC jail as far as like toilets overflowing, water, complaining about the conditions. And they actually got inspectors and people on it to where they're coming into the jails and reconstructing and everything. And I'm like, damn, these are the same people who stormed the Capitol.
And
They got the
people been complaining about them conditions for years, but until you have this whole group of white people that's locked up that would not have been locked up and they weren't trying to steal their country back, they won't listen to them. Like that one dude was in there complaining about the food, talking about vegan, ain't no vegan options. But jail.
vegan options.
Like, do sitting there and starve. You don't get to choose the prime rib steak in prison. I mean, that's not what. Is that what you thought? Like,
that one lady that took the private jet, she had a video she did. She told me she can't wait to go to jail so she can tone up and lose weight and detox. And she was like, I don't know what I'm going to drink. I know they don't get no smoothies in there. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
They're treating this like vacation. They ain't treating this like actual crime. Like it's a resort out here to them. That's what they think.
And I mean, I know he don't eat meat or whatever, but it's again privilege. I'm sorry, it's privilege, and it's like they weren't
that one dude that
like for reality, and that's the scary part is that you're so detached from what real life really is. That's craziness.
Because you see that they just gave a trucker 110 years. He was driving on the highway when his brakes went out. I mean, he killed like 4 people because his truck wouldn't stop. He wasn't intoxicated or nothing. His brakes went out. And they gave this man 110 years for doing his job. They're trying to go back there and appeal it because whatever state he's in, the truckers are refusing to drive through this. I think it was in Colorado or something like that. But they're refusing to drive through the state because why would you lock this man up while he's doing the job? He don't know his brakes is going to go out like it. You know what I'm saying? It was like some fluke shit where the land dropped out or something crazy, man.
So because it ain't really necessarily something he can't control. He can't control that.
Yeah.
I feel it. All right, next on the docket, the gift from 2020 that keeps on giving. COVID-19.
First thoughts, man, wear your mask. Wash your hands. Hygiene, like for real. Take your vitamins. I mean, or your natural supplements. I mean, for me, it ain't going anywhere or hasn't went anywhere, and we keep getting new variants. And so I don't think that anybody should let their guard down. At this point.
The new why did they call the new variant Omarion? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Black people will come up with anything. But I get on Twitter and I see Omarion trending just to come to find out it's a new variant. That's not even spelled the same exact way. I don't get black people. That's just what we do.
You know, we're trying to
I'm the crown.
be creative and do things. So I don't know, but
Yeah. Man, when COVID hit, I definitely, you know, took it serious. You know what I'm saying? Because of what I may like study on my own. You know what I'm saying? I took it serious. I felt like people with health issues. I felt like elderly people, and was given an unfair advantage. I was in my feelings about COVID when it first hit, cause I ain't gonna lie, I was in my feelings about it because it's so many things don't make sense. So many messages just didn't make sense to me. But it makes sense. Don't make sense, but it makes sense. But it was wild, man. It was different. It turned us, we had to be 6 feet apart, stuff closing down at 4:00. You know what I mean? It literally was a life altering change. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
Walmart still ain't open 24 hours. Like
Still not. We miss it. I miss it.
I do too.
We ain't
I ain't
getting
gonna
that
lie.
no more.
I ain't gonna lie. I miss rolling over at midnight. I ain't got nothing to do. Or I'm just gonna shoot the Walmart, walk around for a little bit. Life
my
completely
my own
different.
my only issue with COVID is if statistically, as in America, I'm just gonna say America. If statistically, if everybody in America got vaccinated, I feel like we're gonna keep hearing about new variants. Now, I'm not saying that the vaccine helps or prevents it. I'm saying I feel like it's forcing people, whether or not they want to or not, to do something that they may not believe in. I don't agree with putting somebody against their wills. Like they're saying things now, like if you're not vaccinated, you're gonna have a real ill, severe winter and full of death and agony. Like, why do you? I just don't know. I'm still optimistic about the situation. You know what I'm saying? It just I feel like if statistically they keep up with everybody's medical records, which they do, everything's linked to you some which way. When they keep up with all of that data, if everybody was to, because right now it's a thing of if you're vaccinated or if you're not. It's like I wonder if everybody was just the people that don't believe in the vaccinations, if they was to throw the towel in and get vaccinated, will we hear about new variants? Will we hear about COVID anymore? Is it about actually vaccinating people, or is it about actually helping people prevent this sickness? What exactly is this about? Is what I'm trying to find out. I mean, there's a lot of things. I watched how much power the government have over these last few months. They have the ability to, say something and act on it. Like I literally watched life change in the last year or two. You know what I'm saying? 100% completely. Life is 100% different than what it was 2 years ago. And yes, life is supposed to change. You're supposed to progress, though. I would hope change has something to do with progression, if anything. I'm just a little confused about it. That's all. Not trying to take up all your time talking your head off about that.
Hey,
Just confused.
You good, man? That brings up more comments points. So like I think like from my end, I can pretty much see where everything what you saying with it too. But even like beyond just the actual people getting the vaccination, that people would have followed the original guidelines, and they would have like lasted a little bit longer, and they wouldn't let them states open up early and stuff. We wouldn't have as many of them variants. I don't think maybe necessarily rampant as much as we do here. But like the problem that I had with the whole situation is that people in America act as if these new variants are only hitting us here. Like they hitting around the world. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like simultaneously, which is like the crazy part. But you have these people that want to believe that they just bring up a new variant because the midterms is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's ridiculous. Nobody got time to go up and just bring a no new variant up to disrupt how the vote stuff is going to be. Like sometimes people got to take their own head out of their own, you know what I'm saying? Take a look back at the world in general and go beyond just your own close proximity, your own city, your own state, and try to understand from a world perspective. Because like individuals, like if you travel the country, they look at the Americans to be like slow because we always have this real self-centered perspective on how we see things. We're not able to really understand it as we live in as people way far away from us, just living off stuff, just going through hardships and stuff. We always have this personalized, essentialized idea of what's going on in the world, you know. And if people will go beyond their own personal understanding, I think for certain, you know what I'm saying, we should be able to do something, especially when you have these people that aren't social distancing, aren't wearing a mask, but then they want to scream that they pro-life, though. Hey, you pro-life, but you risking everybody's life every day. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You can't be both of them simultaneously.
It's the altered reality. Like, it's like,
yeah.
It's like like they literally live in a different world almost. Like, so much so that they can't think outside of I don't know, outside of what's real. Like, that almost like they can't tell what's real and what's not. Literally. Like, your point, their perspective is you believe one thing 1 minute and you believe something else the next. I mean, and you're entitled to change your mind or your opinion about whatever. But people going hard in the paint about this, like.
But you know why? Because like the thing is, like when you read stuff, you got to read stuff you don't agree with. If you just read stuff that you agree with, everything you read just validates whatever falsehood or false truths you have in your mind. If everything you read is already something you agree with, you know, you got to stress your own mind too. But I guarantee the people that have these train of thoughts, whatever they watching, whatever they digest inside of they mind, their body mentally, it's all on that same trajectory. So it solidifies them to be correct because they continue to hear the same falsities over and over again.
You know what? That goes to the point you were talking about Americans, and also Ashley's point is we are very self-centered. We think we know it all. We think the world of Americans. The United States thinks the world evolves around us.
Yeah.
It don't. If you talk any foreigners that come here, you talk to them. That's the first thing they tell us. That's why they don't like America, because we act like the rest of the world doesn't exist. It's just us. It's us and it's them. You know what I'm saying? We look at them as beneath us, and that's definitely not the case. And as far as COVID, is anybody you do your research? COVID is not really new.
True statement.
COVID's been around for years, decades. It's just the way that it was publicized. And the way that it hit and it was killing people. Before the different strands of COVID before didn't kill people.
I had one of my homies before too, but I was talking at the barbershop, and I never thought of it like that. He was saying that in his man, he be believing a lot of different things, but sometimes he has points that I can kind of play with, like, nah, you might get a little point there.
Just gotta shape it up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But he was like, right before COVID here, you remember he had all the people that was dying from the vape providers, smoking the vape pens and stuff. He was like, they was probably passed around COVID, but that was coming from other places around the world. And he was thinking that might have been what it was, because the same symptoms that them people had that they was dying from is basically the same symptoms that people was actually having that was dying from COVID. I was like, hey, you got a point, man. I don't know how close it is to the truth, but you know what I'm saying? It's a little parallel there.
Like I said, sometimes you just gotta shape it up. Go ahead.
I think a lot of things too just come down to everybody's, because a lot of people in the society in general, everything comes from philosophy. I feel like a lot of times, it comes down to belief. You know what I mean? Like, if you're somebody who's adamant in belief of God, that you're God's body, you know what I'm saying? Or in any case like that, your perspective on COVID, your perspective on war, your perspective on anything may be different than somebody else with a whole nother reality. Kind of like what Kamara was saying, if you don't open your mind to, other avenues of life or other thoughts and perspectives, there's no, you're only going to think you're correct in your realm or your world. You know what I'm saying? As a health student, though, I will say, studying the human body, everybody just take care of yourself, man. If that's the best thing you can do to share it in, try not to spread nothing to nobody else, wear your mask, be respectful, but take care of yourself. Message to the people out there watching, take care of yourself so you don't got to depend on nobody else to save your life. Just take care of yourself. Put the right things in your body when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you, COVID ain't no joke. I had it. It wasn't a fun 2 weeks for me. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But switching subjects real quick. Speaking of black people being in the streets rioting, Where was y'all thoughts on Derek Chauvin when he got found guilty?
I'm gonna say my thoughts was and still is it is a step in the right direction for justice to be served. I think it's still unfortunate, right? Because I mean, I don't want to see, at the end of the day, his actions and the actions of what we've seen just displayed on TV over and over again. You know what I'm saying? That's his family's broken too, right? Like he was married too, like, so you know what I mean. The shattered families that come out of it, you know what I mean. I'm not excited about that, right? Because you know what I mean. At the end of the day, there's going to be some broken pieces after that, but that can be healed, obviously. But I do feel like from a justice standpoint, it was a step in the right direction. And I say that because we had several heartbreaks, right? In cases in the years prior. So to see some level of justice being served, that's a step in the right direction. Do I feel like we still have a long way to go? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I can say that I was one of the ones kind of holding my breath about it, right? Because we have expected justice to take place in so many other cases, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It just didn't happen, right? And the heartbreak from that.
I guess that's a lot to do with COVID too, though. Everybody being home and not working, everybody basically had to watch that video over and over again. Now, had COVID not have been going on at that time, I don't know if the national response would have been as rampant and as widespread and as quick as it actually was, though. Not to cut you off, sorry about that. I had to throw it in.
No, and I agree with you because everybody was at the house now. And I'm just gonna throw this in here, Q. Like that, those seconds of silence in the commercials that some of those networks did, like I didn't think that it was going to have the effect on me that it did. When they did the blackout, like I felt that, like beyond just seeing the videos replay, like Kamara's talking about, and because we was all, most everybody was sitting at the house and folks weren't at work and COVID was happening. But to watch some of those networks do that blackout period, that felt like forever. And for me, drew out some emotions that I may have thought I was over, you know what I mean? But to sit in silence, and I was like, what's up with the TV? Like, and then to realize that this was like full out, like, man, them seconds was a lot. That was a long time. You know what I mean? In a moment of that, right? Because it reiterated, the video, in my opinion. So I just want to put that out there, man. That blackout period that they did, different networks did, and I know there was controversy around that. But actually sitting there and there be truly a blackout period and know what that time actually represented, it should have gave everybody a whole new perspective on life. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get my camera back right, man. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I want to say something real quick. I was, like my sister said, it still is an unfortunate situation regardless. I was happy with the verdict more so with that and the Ahmaud Arbery situation because of the example that it could have set. Like, man, it's hard already just, being in our skin sometimes. And the last thing you want is an example being set on television or through national media that you can just kill us with over and over and over. It's been happening. And then I feel like Kamar's right when he said, if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think he would have got all that attention because that story has happened 1,000 times. Every year it happens over and over and over. But man, I'm glad they was able to find him men guilty, man, and everybody guilty who did that, because I'm telling you that would have been even worse. We already trying to fix the issue that we have with ourselves, but it's even worse when just the world can just publicly see somebody execute us or lynch us in the street and get away with it. Man, that creates idea in people. It's just like, if no matter how great you can be as a black person, as a black man, as a black woman, no matter how great you can be, it's like it's beautiful when you can go all the way through and keep a clean slate. If you can go all the way through without having anything tarnished on your name, anybody throwing something on your name, there's always representations of on a national level where they remind us that we're less, though we're not. But they paint that picture. This is my opinion too. If I'm speaking facts, this is my opinion.
Those facts though, I would just call them opinion.
You know what I mean? So
you can look at different variations of shows and presentations and representations of African American juvenile criminals and then white juvenile criminals and how they actually labeled each other. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's 17 and if he's black, they're gonna call him a man. If he's white, they're gonna call him a teenager. Or they're gonna call him an adolescent. They're gonna call him something else that doesn't actually give him that tone of them being a responsible adult. But a young black man, a young black woman, they automatically want to throw you into adulthood.
For sure, absolutely. I get it.
For me, I was at the barbershop when the verdict came through, and before the verdict came through, it was an older black gentleman. He asked me, he said, "So what you think?" And I said, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he got off. And the same thing in the Ahmaud Arbery situation. I would, just because that's the history. That's what we had seen before. That's what we seen prior of. Like you said, they treat us like we less than. So because we less than, the crime doesn't, equate for them to actually do time. So honestly, I kind of was, when I seen the verdict, I kind of was shocked. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, once I seen that verdict, it did make me feel more confident in the Ahmaud verdict. But even with that one, I still kind of was on edge.
Yeah.
Like, might go either way. My man's got people, he, won't be former police and all of that. He got people trying to cover stuff up for him.
What was they crying about? That's what I want to know. What was they crying about? I don't get that. I'm like, you chase this man down the street. And my thing, I'm like, they kept talking about that he had a gun on him. Dude's running this above the knee jogging shorts. If you got a strap on you and you run it, it's just gonna pop out. You can't run down the street like you can't.
Yeah,
you can't.
Arbery situation was just.
If you are,
talking about laws that we didn't even know. Like, there's so many laws we don't even know exist, yo. Like, that's the scary part, right? Because none of us are sitting down and reading every single law in every single state, right? We don't, you know what I'm saying? And so for them to be like, I don't even remember what the law was called right now.
This is the arrest law.
Yeah, like, what constitutes a citizen's arrest? Like, so we can just walk around here and be putting people in handcuffs. If that's the case, black folks would have been arresting people a long time ago.
But like all of this stuff, like the citizens' arrest laws and all that stuff, it was basically put on the docket, like at the end of slavery, along with like the black code and so forth. So that way, if you thought that somebody was doing something, you had the right to go and take them and hold them and take them to the authorities. All them laws was put on the docket just to maintain and monitor our black bodies inside of white spaces. That's all they was on there for, and they still exist on there.
Right.
But
so it conveniently came up in this situation. Them guys wouldn't think about that law. They just use that law. They just do what they do, and their lawyers, well, this is what we gonna use. I mean, it's just like,
that's why you pay a lawyer, so they can know all the stuff.
Yeah, but
they can cover up your actions.
They still got. So,
but on the trial though, the dude that actually shot him, he said that he felt as if Ahmaud Arbery was attacking his truck. So not only did he get chased, but after he got chased, he felt like Ahmaud Arbery was going to attack his truck, which is why he got out. He claimed that he got out to shoot him. That makes no sense. You're in a car. Keep going.
But you got to think, his actions don't make sense. So anything he tries to use to cover it up, it's not going to make sense.
Nah, he messed himself up. He messed his daddy up. It was just bad all the way through and through. But I was anticipating that those verdicts as well. Like,
Yeah, but
what do we buy?
with your boy Chauvin, what I want to say is like this, just the callousness that he used to just look on his back, to kneel on the back of his neck with his hands in his pocket and that smirk on his face. No one people was recording, and he continued to do that though. Like, imagine how you have to feel as a person, like inside of your own psyche, where you have all these people watching you, and you still continue to just rest all your weight on the back of somebody's neck as they screaming out for their mama and screaming out for they can't breathe. How cold-hearted you have to be to do something like that?
Hey, you gotta be.
I think that's what hurt. Honestly, Kamar, that's what hurt. And I mean, all of us can probably sit
I
here.
mean, at least could have gave him the death penalty. My bad. I just had to throw that in there real quick. So,
I mean, hey, hey, that's to each his own. There. I mean, I ain't mad at you, Juve. I ain't mad at you. The reality of it is that most of us, I can't say all of us, right? But at least us four, I think, on this podcast right here, like, to watch a grown man call out for his mama, we all know how important mamas are to us, like for real. And most of the time in our communities, and then for him to be a black father, right? Because he had kids. That right there, that's something else. That's
actually what prevented me from.
So how can any of us not feel that hurt, right? Like that pain of just watching that, you know what I'm saying? And I get what Kamara's saying. It's like, it might would have been different had we not been sitting around at the house or had more time on our hands. But to sit there and watch that and listen to that, it was all over social media. I mean, him to cry out for his mom, and then him to be a father himself as well, right? So have children of his own like that.
Nah, like when I honestly didn't watch the video because I heard he cried. When I heard they told me he cried out for his mom. Once I heard that he did that, it just went in me to watch the video. Yeah. I honestly didn't watch the video till this year. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact, like we all, all of us on here can speak to relationships with mamas. You know what I'm saying? And to think that you crying out for your mama and somebody got their knee on you while you face down and they heard you crying out for your mama. And just to stand there, well, not just stand there, but to continue to do what they do and just have no regard,
none,
no remorse, no.
And I gotta blame. I know it's not their job, but man, people standing around too, man. That's crazy to me. Nowadays, people will record you die. People will record you die.
I had to push through the ball for him, throw some wild at him or something, man.
Like.
What you saying, Kamar? It might have been worth catching a charge yourself just for the sake of it. Like something.
Yeah. But we say that, but you gotta think the police now are so trigger happy. That person would have been a dog.
Yeah, but I just feel like back in the day that just won't gonna happen like that. I think having the ability to record stuff now at a higher rate is just now people would just record. Man, that could have been anything. It couldn't have been a cop. That could have been somebody else with a regular Joe getting choked out like that, and somebody would have pulled out their phone and recorded it instead of stopping the person from killing.
Yeah, thanks. The 60s and the 70s, black person mentality is different from now.
For sure.
They have more revolutionary mindset. As we're now, we don't really have that mindset. That's a whole nother pie of just the mindset of the black, the different mindset over time of the black.
Yeah, go on and book us for we're full of intellectuals here, so book us for the next one on the mind of black.
As soon as I get done doing my dissertation, I'm doing from Black Pantherism to gangsterism. That's the book I'm gonna do.
Tough.
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard.
Right.
We're gonna lighten the mood a little bit.
All right, cool.
When I say the baby and all of his antics throughout the year, between the issues with his child's mother, his comments on the stage at Rolling Loud about people calling homophobic. Or we gonna go to Boosie and his continuous beef with Lil Nas X. Who was more entertaining?
So who was more entertaining?
Who was more entertaining?
Boosie,
Boosie
absolutely.
or the baby?
I
Boosie.
think it's definitely got to be Boosie, man, because it got to the point with Boosie, but Lil Nas X would just be waking up every day trying to fuck with Boosie. Though. You know what I mean? Boosie's ain't really cared that about dude, but he ain't gonna let anybody throw no shade and no salt on his name at all, though. So, you know, whatever he's gonna say about Boosie gonna say something back, regardless. He already got kicked out of social media and everything, so you know he's cool with that.
Yeah, Boosie for sure.
So the funnier was Boosie. But to me, the more entertaining actually was the baby because of the simple fact, yo, they try to destroy dude.
They did the same with Boosie though. Same with Boosie.
Now,
Dwayne Wade's son. They tried to destroy him with that.
See, but the baby had so many different, a lot of the same people that was trying to destroy Boosie, tried to destroy the baby. But then the baby, it just kept coming. And it kept coming. Just like now with Travis Scott. They trying to wipe Travis Scott off the face of the earth, basically, because of what happened, which we're going to get into that in a minute. But I just think the baby, and then add on the situation with his child mother, and they was going live on Facebook, which I think, how we got to go live on Facebook?
Yes, why would you want to do that to yourself anyway, though? Like, why you want to record it going live for them? Like, why do that? You know, it's one thing if you just trying to get a couple people to look at it, but, you know, you got to deal with all this stuff. Whatever kind of way you look at it. And you got all this stuff right there on Front Street. You got what was that lady, his assistant?
Yeah. His assistant and his brother.
Right. And then you got this your newest baby mama in the room with you. Where was the baby at? Did the baby come on the screen too?
Yeah.
The actual baby?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't watch it that long. I didn't see baby's actual baby. I didn't watch it that long. So I missed that. But it's just foolish. I do all that, man. But then, like, the other side of it is like, dudes are fairly new artists and stuff too. Does find like being in the mainstream, you know. So I think he'd be easier to actually to get torn down to see him really been out there that long like that, dude. But I don't know though.
Felt bad for I felt bad for the baby, and that's why I think I said it was the more entertaining because to see he that came back a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I think all this fools to put that stuff. Some stuff they ain't for everybody to see. That's it right there. Though.
I don't know. I just can't get over going live on. I mean, he said he was trying to protect himself.
Your assistant was there though.
Like you got people there. You can record the video without going live on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
And I would hope he has cameras inside of his house if he got all his money and stuff. So
as much money he got. Speaking of Travis Scott. What's up?
What you going at with Travis Scott? Where you aiming at?
So let me get mine real quick on Travis Scott. Maybe it's just me. I don't know what he could have done so much differently. Like he could have had better, plans for people to get out or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just feel like it wasn't too much he could do different. I'm sorry for the people that lost their lives. I don't want to discredit that. But I don't know. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. What else? How much more he could have done?
He was half-stepping.
The other side of it too, though, like when you put on big shows and stuff like that, also too, though, like you supposed to have some type of city clearance or some type of ordinance and stuff that you're supposed to have met, or just supposed to be saying they're supposed to be taken care of. So if those documents don't exist that he signed off on, then that means either he paid somebody off not to do it, or he sidestepped it, or something. But that stuff's supposed to be already taken care of when you have big events like that, though. You can't even put you can't rip the block off without having to go get an ordinance and do certain things. So I know putting on the show to that caliber, it had to be some stuff that he was supposed to be signing off on and some regulations and stuff that he's supposed to be meeting. And if those papers and documents do not exist, then he just gave somebody the money. Now, I don't know if he does it something hands-on his own self, or if he got somebody on his team that does it. I don't know.
I mean, absolutely. I think one thing I think for all artists, and I know that's why they pay people the big bucks, right, to take care of stuff on their behalf. But the reality of it is that anytime your name is on something, you got to make sure it's right.
Super tight. Yeah.
And I know as an artist, that's a lot of different things to think about, right? Your attire, your band, your crew. There's a lot of different moving pieces in the music industry, especially when you're throwing a show. But one of the things that, everybody got to consider is safety. Like, safety got to be top notch, right? So you're not going to do nothing without your own security, right? But you want to make sure that nothing like this type of thing happens. And I'm not saying that he's the sole blame for this situation. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that his name was on it. And so when your name is on it...
You big as Michael Jackson?
Right. Well, yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead, you
when you big as Michael Jackson, that's supposed to be handled. That's supposed to be handled when you big as Michael Jackson.
I feel that. So, well, yeah. So I don't even disagree with you, Juve. I don't disagree with you. Wait a
minute. Stop. What did you say? Travis
when
Scott,
you big as Michael Jackson, you supposed to
stop right there. Let me stop you right there. You just said. I thought that's what he said.
I don't listen to y'all. I'm not an Astro World fan.
But
I'm just saying.
So how you out here saying he's as big as Michael Jackson if you don't listen to him? Do you listen to Michael Jackson?
This man is on he has his own item on the McDonald's.
When was the last time more than two people passed it at a concert? It was Michael Jackson. So I can see your point.
No. We're not doing that. Hold on.
I mean, we're not saying he's greater than Michael Jackson.
We're not saying he's greater. We're
not saying he's greater. No, nobody's gonna say that. Like, we're not gonna do that. But what I'm saying is that if you can sell out a show and get Michael Jackson numbers,
and he's known across the world. Everybody knows Travis Scott, just like everybody knows Michael Jackson.
Music, right? So let me just make sure. Like, let me do a test right here, Kamara, Juve. Like, let's think about this. Beyonce ain't hit. I mean, she hits numbers, but have they been quite to that caliber?
I don't got
the Beehive is tough. That Beehive is tough.
Beyonce's a lot closer to those numbers.
I mean, Bruno's kind of up there too, right? Has Bruno hit that? So
not Travis. Travis Scott is he has his own item on the McDonald's menu.
That don't mean nothing. Everybody got a McDonald's menu now. Burger King got menus. Who are you talking about?
Right now too, right?
Who got food? You said
Burger King got people celebrity menus.
He got his own burger at McDonald's. McDonald's ain't nothing. I'm just saying it's everywhere though. It's everywhere in the world. McDonald's is everywhere.
It's internet. It's truly internet.
So, don't think about. I think Coach he got with Nike though, man. He got a new pair of shoes coming out every other month almost, man.
So look,
big, man. Drake is probably the only one bigger than him right now.
So put it like this, if you on that level, you got to have some accountability. Not to blame him. I ain't trying to bash him. I ain't doing that because I believe he feels bad about the situation by all means. But you got to have people in place and understand who you're doing business with when you're doing these shows. I mean, unfortunately, when your name is on it, they're going to look at you.
Look, y'all told me what he could have done different. I'm still not off him saying Travis Scott is as big as Michael Jackson. Let me tell you something. Travis Scott is in the age, y'all say he's known around the world. It's the age of the internet. It's easy to be known around the world now. Michael Jackson was known around the world when it wasn't no internet. But
we in 2021 on the way to 22. You can't, I mean, we know that technology has advanced, but I mean, it is what it is. Like,
people, all you gotta do is pull out a phone and you can hear a Travis Scott song. Michael Jackson was known when it wasn't nothing but a radio. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, but you trying to compare. We just talking about where he's at as far as selling out his shows. We not saying that he's better than. No, ain't nobody say that.
We're not even saying that he's as good as.
And nobody even said he's as good as or legendary for that matter. Because I don't listen to the man, but that's just
my point. That's my point. How is he on the level as Michael Jackson, right? None of us on this podcast listen to Travis Scott, but he's on the level of Michael Jackson. But all of us listen to Michael Jackson.
I mean,
let me load my computer up real quick, man. Let me see if I can find something for you real quick. Before y'all continue to talk.
I mean, I think it's just one. I think what he's saying is that you have that level of sold out shows and be known all over the place.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't think.
Look, once I heard Travis Scott's on the level of Michael Jackson, I was like, wait, what?
We're not talking about musically. We're just saying from a show standpoint.
Now,
I would say Beyonce and Bruno, they sell out pretty often too, though. So I don't know. I mean,
they ain't Michael Jackson.
Janet, they ain't Janet either. Janet's up. I mean, Janet. I mean, I can name a few. That's about.
Bruno's a bad man. Bruno's bad man. That bad man right there.
On good shows, but I ain't been to one of them though.
Hey, Bruno is a bad man. But Drake, I can see the Drake comparison. Somewhat. You know?
Somewhat.
I don't know. It's just Michael Jackson, you know? That's like saying somebody Tom Brady. I don't. Mike got rings to prove it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I got you. I feel that.
We talk about like numbers at shows. The arenas is bigger now, and it's more arenas. So of course this number is gonna be bigger.
You talking technicalities, dude? Like you talking about detail.
This is what we gotta talk about. When you talk about greats,
like, just where he's doing his shows at. And now you're talking about, okay, Q, even in fact, I'm not, again, I'm going to say, I'm not a fan. But you are talking about these numbers after a freaking pandemic, too. Like, you got to consider that fact. Like, people.
Everybody wants to get out the house.
But then, Quentin, also look at it, too, though. So, if the arenas are a lot bigger now and there's more of them, why ain't everybody else doing it? Why ain't everybody else selling that shows like it?
Hold on. I'm not saying he's not a big artist. I'm not saying he's a popular artist. What I said was he ain't no Michael Jackson. That is what I said.
I mean, he ain't Michael Jackson. We agree.
We're not gonna put him in the same sentence as Michael Jackson. Have y'all seen Thriller? Y'all might need to go watch the Thriller. Y'all might have forget.
Actually, we was watching like Michael Jackson's trailers, and I was like, man, that's a bad man. That was a bad man.
Man right there.
The creativity, the work ethic that he had, like that's just, it's never gonna be somebody like him at all. Never.
Even with Michael Jackson's like with his own intellectual capacity, when you actually hear him speak on like various topics and stuff, like it's not like a lot of them videos still floating around. But there is some videos where he's talking about people need to understand like their actual true history and where we actually come from, this and that, you know what I'm saying? So he has some other knowledge outside of this music alone too.
Right.
That's true.
All right, man, the last quick hit, well, this ain't even going to be a quick hit, it's going to be a full topic. We done lost the member, but we're going to try to keep pushing through. Versus. One of the highlights of that came out of 2020 that carried over to 2021 was the Timberland and Switch Beats versus battles that they kept going. So now I'm gonna give y'all a list of a couple of the verses that happened this year. Y'all can give me your favorites, some of your favorite memories, however y'all want to go with it. But Soulja Boy Bow Wow, 3-6 Mafia, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Trina and Eve, Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills, Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One, Fat Joe and Ja Rule, Keith Sweat, Bobby Brown, which I don't really feel like it was a battle, but you know what I'm saying. Swizz Beatz and Timberland did a live one this year. The original one they did during COVID was, in the house. They actually did a live performance this year. And then Redman, Method Man, they did theirs on 420. SWV and Escape, and then Earth, Wind and Fire versus the Ashley Brothers.
You missing one though that I was thinking about. You ain't.
Which one am I missing?
Didn't Patty do one? Patty and
Hey, that was last year.
that was last
Patty
year.
and Gladys Knight.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, see, it's so many of them happened.
Yeah, it was roll. They was rolling.
Like last year, I know like Nelly and Luda having I want to say Ashanti and Keisha Cole. I want to say that might have been earlier this year. Ashanti and Keisha Cole.
I am an R&B head, so SWV and Escape was pretty good. I like Trina and Eve. Redman and Method Man are like best friends, so that really wasn't a battle to me, personally. I mean, I understand it was a good marketing, good marketing for the night, for the day that they did it on, right? Soulja Boy and Bow was all right because they allowed Little Romeo to make an appearance, and I think that was pretty cool because they was all in that same time frame. I don't think it was the greatest though. I am an old school hip hop fan, so to see Big Daddy Kane and KRS want to go at it, I enjoy that me personally because I like old school hip hop too. So I would say that. I'm a Bone Thugs and Harmony fan. And I like some of 3 6 Mafia's music. That just got crazy though. So I'm not gonna put that in the top. I'm gonna go with SWV and Escape, Trina and Eve, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Ron and them. They did their thing old school style. So I'm gonna go with them 3. I mean, I went through the list, but I'm gonna go Trina, Eve, SWV, Escape, and I'm gonna go Earth, Wind and Fire and the Isleys because that's that old school right there.
All right, for me, I only attempted to watch 2 of them. I ain't know nothing about the Big Daddy Kane KRS One versus. I don't know where I was at. How I missed that. I don't know. I don't know how I missed that. But
what?
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. I don't. I'm mad at myself for missing that.
Yeah, you man.
Yeah, but I did watch some of the Earth, Wind and Fire and the Acid Brothers, but for some reason my connection was horrible, and they kept dropping in and out. So the only one I really got a chance to watch was the 3 6 in the Bone, which was very entertaining. I going into it, what I'm saying? Like, of course, they were kind of pretty much, they out around like the same amount of time almost. But like they caliber of music and stuff is like completely different though. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 6 is like crunk, and then you got Bone that is like harmonized stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, these two, they might be both considered to be gangsters or whatever, but it's 2 different, completely types of music though. So their versus battle was more so entertaining from like the different songs they were playing back and forth. Like they didn't really match it off of real. Like it wasn't like one of them you could say that like was hitting back at the other one. They were just playing their top hit. But when your boy lost it though, that was funny. I think
that's the moment of the year from versus, most definitely.
See, the other part though that Juicy J did though, not Juicy J, but Country Black.
What Country do?
He handed Lace on a little powder bag.
I didn't know that.
Yes. He walked up, handed the bag, he picked it up, he had it next to his microphone, and he took it out, put it in his pocket.
Yo, what?
Yes, I think that was like they you know what I'm saying? He was like, we still cool, man, take his little piece off it, man. No hard feelings or whatever. We're not gonna beat you up after the show type thing, I guess. I don't know, man.
All right, so for Look, I just lost my train of thought. Like, what? Like, we really doing that on stage? Like,
Right.
yeah. And it would be Country Black to be the one doing it. But for that battle, like you said, for one, I think the crowd was bad. Because 3-6 Mafia got joints that just, like turn the club up, you know what I'm saying? Juicy J got solo joints that would have hyped the crowd up, and the crowd just kind of sat on their hands, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if that battle was done anywhere besides LA, don't get me wrong, like in LA, you'd be able to bring out all the people that showed out, like the Waynes, the Lil Flips, the Chameleonaires, the Lil Johns. If you did it in LA, those people come out. But if you had done that in, like, I don't know, Nashville or Atlanta, even like a Cleveland or somewhere that's closer to it.
They purposely didn't do it in the cities that they from. Now
I'm saying, but you could have done it.
Let me be clear.
They could have did her. They'd have been a little louder than that.
Cincinnati, even.
But you not doing it in you not doing it in Cleveland. You not doing it in Atlanta. Now there's plenty of cities between the two that they could have chose. I don't think LA was the place to do it.
Not for that battle, especially because 3-6 Mafia is so underground. If you wasn't in it, then you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So out on the West Coast,
I can attest to that part. I don't think LA was the choice. But then on the flip side, I can kind of see why LA was the choice. Because the beefing stayed amongst them on the stage and not out there in the audience. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same.
I see it twofold. I mean, I don't think LA was the perfect spot. But if you want to keep everybody intact outside of the artists, it was the best choice. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what city you in, now you can't.
They actually got shit to come on the stage too, though. Like that wouldn't have happened if that wasn't in LA. There's no way they would have had like 10 different features like they did come on the stage.
Yeah, that's true.
To have the guest spots, you only way you get guest spots like that is Atlanta, LA, and New York. That's the only 3 places you're gonna get guest spots like that. And even with those guest spots, though, Lil Wayne came out. Like, Lil Jon's cool, Chameleonaire's cool, Lil Flip, past his prime. But Lil Wayne came out. Come on, bro, Lil Flip's past his prime. Let's be real. Matter of fact, Chameleonaire don't even rap no more. Like, all right, he's in the tech life.
He making money elsewhere right now.
Making money elsewhere. But Lil Wayne came out and the crowd didn't go crazy.
They probably know it was him. It was a little black hobbit, man. They knew what's going on, man.
Everybody know that's Lil Wayne now, though. Like when his dreads gonna fall out soon, bro. Everybody know that's Lil Wayne.
There was a Black Spiegel, man. They didn't know what was going on, man.
But me, I don't know. I guess for me, my favorite battle was Bow Wow Soulja Boy.
Why did I know you was gonna pick that though?
Well, I'm younger than you. First of all,
I know you too well. I know you too well. But go ahead. Give me your explanation as to why.
I'm younger. First off, I'm younger than you. So maybe that's one of the reasons why. That was more. I was out here Ewing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it quite as well as I probably should have. The weight don't move like that. But I was out here with my, Soulja Boy Tellums going on. That was an era to me. It took me back to the lean with it, rock with it, and all that. That just was a different vibe for me.
It was good, fun-filled music for the time, right? Like, I mean, we technically, you know what I'm saying, we grew up on that. We did. We had a good time with that type of music, and when it came out, so you went back down memory lane, Q. Is that what you're telling me?
That one was special for me because of the memory lane aspect of it. And, okay, now hold on. I say this every time I bring this up. Because you said Romeo came out. They brought Romeo out. That's cool, and that's great, and that's fine and dandy. Romeo said, and I'll quote him saying this, that Bow Wow was the Michael Jordan, Soulja Boy is the LeBron James, and Romeo is the Kobe Bryant.
How?
Romeo as the Kobe Bryant is what I'm trying to understand. How the hell is, no disrespect to Romeo, but how the hell is Romeo Kobe Bryant?
Because my thing is, if Romeo's daddy was a Master P, he wouldn't be rapping none of this stuff, though. You know, I doubt that. I don't know though, because
when you look at their age as individual rappers per se, because rappers per se. I see why he said it. I ain't saying I agree. I see why he said it, but when you look at it from a rapper perspective in their age group, that's the only three. Like,
if you would have said out of us three and these three NBA players, we'd have put it like that. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, compare himself to the greatness of those three basketball players.
Right, like saying, but just us three alone, just us three, and then these three ball players, and then match them up. Maybe.
So, Ashley, even with your definition, you take a note, Romeo. Even with your definition, I still don't see how Romeo is Kobe Bryant. What I see, that's how I look at it. We look at impact. As much as people want to give Soulja Boy a hard time, Soulja Boy had a major impact on the hip hop.
Yeah. I get him that. I was not aware at the time that he was doing that. That's what he was actually doing. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm actually understanding the certain things that he did first and where he pushed the market at a little bit. You know, I can salute to him, you know, but at the time he was doing, I didn't know what he was doing. I just knew he was went it out in the street. I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what was going on.
We could see the Soulja Boy being the LeBron James. We can understand that one. Bow Wow being
100 with you. Like, I like Soulja Boy, but I have a hard time, like, I don't feel like he had hits, right? And he was a producer and all that good stuff. But you know what? Maybe LeBron is the right comparison because there's times when I don't really care for LeBron, even though his skill set is there, right? Like he balls out.
Yeah.
I don't like some of the personality traits, and I think that might be the same thing with Soulja Boy. So that might have been a good comparison for my, you know. I just don't. I like some of his music, but I can.
But see, like if we looking at it,
like I ain't feeling you now. LeBron
in the tap.
LeBron has. I have had a sense of change of heart over the years for LeBron. But I used to really couldn't stand LeBron. I would give him his credit for his skills that he had on the court and what he's been able to do. But it's a personality thing. It's a character thing. It's something, not a character. I ain't gonna say that because he had a good character. But
it's a character thing as well. You can have the good characteristics and you can also have some of those. And
yeah, so it was questionable. So I mean, maybe Soulja Boy is on that line. Like I don't know. It's like I'm kind of indifferent as it relates to Soulja Boy. I like his music,
but see, I can see it in the way the conversation was going. As you know, Bow Wow started it out. It was great, so I can see the Michael Jordan comparison. I can see the LeBron, Soulja Boy and LeBron, because Soulja Boy, like I said, contributed to the game in many different ways and took it to a different level. Where in the hell does Romeo fit?
So who would you say Romeo is? Who would you give him? I say
Jason
John
Turner.
Stark.
Yeah, I said Jason Turner.
Oh Lord.
Hey, that might even be too nice. I don't know. Stevie franchise. I don't know. Somebody that was they was alright. You know what I'm saying? They got a little history.
Now what you got?
Well, I don't know. I just throwing out names at this point.
What's that dude named Ray for Austin? Let's skip to my Lou. The dude that came out of the end. That would have been a good one. Because he was in there just for a little hot second, danced around, got some bread, and left out.
Yeah, I mean, was great for a couple years, then boom, he was just done. That's kind of Romeo. I don't see it. But so yeah, that's my favorite. Actually, I can't, like, you should have known that was gonna be my favorite.
Yeah, you came through that. That was a given. If I had to guess which one you was going with, that would have been it. But okay.
Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire, As the Brothers. That was a beautiful moment. I really wasn't feeling the Eve and Trina one. I guess because they was once you start seeing them together, then even Trina was separate. It kind of just didn't hit. It didn't hit the same.
Yeah, but who else was you gonna put against either one of them?
I mean, now those are the two you put against each other. But when they not in the same arena, like so.
Oh, because they was different. Because she was in. Okay, yeah, I got you.
My second favorite is Fat Joe Ja Rule, because I'm a Ja Rule fan. And then my person of the year, not even just versus, not just versus period, not just versus, but just man of the year was Jadakiss, because the way that dude just demolished Dipset by his damn self.
Jada is a bad boy.
Like
the lyrical ability is just amazing. And now I probably would have liked to have seen. See, I want to see Nas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I like Nas's lyrical ability. But who you putting Nas up against?
I was just actually having a conversation with somebody about that earlier. It's kind of like
I was in
Nas.
AZ.
See, that's the thing. We like the conversation was, matter of fact, at the barbershop. The reason we're doing this late is so Nas you put in the category as MJ and Lil Wayne. What do you really think Nas stand a chance against Jay-Z and Lil Wayne? If we going hit for hit? Not lyrical ability. We going hit for hit. But then you don't want to disrespect Nas and put him against somebody that's a beast.
But okay, so you saying hit for hit? Maybe you got a point. Off the freestyle though, and just this pure rap battle, he can definitely hang with them. Period. Point blank. I would put everything on him.
Most definitely. Yeah, that is the question. I'm just going.
But I think
doing the definition of verses.
Hit for hit, I might be okay, maybe. I might be teetering a little bit, Q. But just off of lyrical, just freestyling, straight battling, Nas can I really think he can outdo them all, honestly. because of the mindset and the knowledge that he carries, and then his lyrical ability, I think he could, But that's just to me. I don't know. I may have to ponder on that a little bit more.
All right, we're gonna get close to the end here, but I wanted to get. Okay.
I said Nas do got some hits though.
Nas got hits, but I don't know about them other three.
Unless he does some something that he himself
against it, but I don't see Jay-Z doing it though, y'all. I personally don't see him doing verses.
Nah.
Well, yeah, a lot of this come up because Jay-Z just said in the interview, I think yesterday, basically saying, "But ain't nobody that can hang with me on that stage. Quit playing." Basically, in so many words, Jay said, "There's nobody that can hang with me." So everybody's first thought was Lil Wayne, but I don't know. It would be a good battle.
That'd be like a 3-6 in the bone. Like they style of music is different too, though, man. You know what I mean? So
but to this point, the only that would be the only one I could see from
has enough
styles of music, but from a hit to hit, it would be an unperfect fit. But I can see it happening, but I get what you're saying. Like it is two different types of music. So
for me, there's names. So like Wayne, Jay, Eminem. I put Eminem up there. Drake, and then Kanye. Them is like 5 dudes that is kind of like they in a tier on their own. Oh, matter of fact, person that just popped in my mind for Nas would be LL Cool J. That's just a name that popped up in my head. But like them 5, Kanye, Drake, Lil Wayne, Eminem, and Jay, it's kind of hard. It's like them dudes got a lot of joints. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I told my homies a few years back, man, about Drake. I'm like, man, I don't know what you call that dude. He's not really a rapper. He's not a pop star. He's not an R&B dude. He doesn't even have his own category for it, man. You know what I mean?
Jay is the cheat. Drake's the cheat code.
He can go into any little mode, man. So he got like his own little brand, his own little genre of music. This is just Drake's. This is Drake music. You know.
All right. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna ask y'all individual top stories of this year. So what do you think? So for like me, it's the Capitol riots. Like these people really had the audacity to storm the Capitol buildings.
Does it have to be something?
Say it again.
Does it have to be something serious?
Nah, it ain't gotta be that serious. It'd be whatever. My other one is Glue Girl, the Gorilla Glue Girl, the girl that got that glue stuck in her hair. That's my second story of the year.
Good. That's good. I didn't think about that one.
And she'd have messed up her surgery since then. Because, they gave her free surgery and all that. She'd have messed it up since they fixed her up. But anyway, that's my second one. But y'all go ahead.
What you got, Kamar?
Whatever day that was that Facebook and Instagram went out. That
was Clubhouse went down too. Everybody was there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Clubhouse went down before that, and then they went down in that same. It was like that same week, if I make no mistake.
Yeah, but I know like the day that stuff went out, I think that was probably pretty much good. I think they should actually do stuff like that because I know because I hope people was actually doing some other stuff besides just sitting on their phone and waiting for it to come back on. Pick up a book, talk with your family, do something with your kids.
Talk with your family. Some people don't do no more.
Man, they don't, man. Not at all, man. I think that was part of my top story because it was something that happened by chance. Well, at least by chance to us, without any of us knowing. But you could have got some actual beneficial results out of it too, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say, having the first, female president is a pretty big deal for history. You know what I'm saying? For history's sake. So I think, there was a level of camaraderie that happened amongst women, amongst people in general. To see a female president, a VP. So I mean, I think that was a significant moment this year, honestly. Yeah, I would say that was a significant moment. Man, all these I guess the second one I would say, like all these ransomwares, like you had a ransomware to shut down the gas pumps, like and we just experienced another one with this, like they got the whole timekeeping system.
Yeah.
Like that ransomware is serious right now. Like you be like, what else they gonna shut down? Like you shut down the whole grocery store. Like, how are we gonna get groceries?
Like I didn't know the Kronos shutdown was so bad. So I was talking to my boss today. He was like, he said people out here ain't getting paid. He said we actually paying people over, and it's gonna cause a problem later on because we paying them over now. They're gonna have to pay that money back. I'm like, y'all.
That's crazy. Also, too, the other one is them fools waiting in Houston for JFK Jr. to come back.
Wait, what?
What? I didn't hear that headline.
Y'all didn't see it?
Nah, you.
Oh man!
No,
look,
I missed that.
Yeah, so I like the the QAnon people stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they was actually out there on the same street that JFK got killed at. I think this was like the end of October, first part of November. They was out there because inside of their little chat and on their little boards, they said that JFK Jr. is going to come back from the dead and is going to announce Trump as the president again. So these fools showed up in droves out there. And there's still people that are out there now that ain't been back home to see their kids or nothing. They out there just waiting. Say it.
What? Hey, bro, that was nuts.
What? Like, I don't even know what to say to that. Come on, like, what?
Yeah, I have to get the story so I can send it to y'all. Because y'all can see this crazy. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Hey, but people just be doing stuff. That's all I'm gonna say.
They do be doing stuff.
Oh man. All right, but I just want to say a couple of these things real quick. RIP to Young Dolph. Brother lost his life. We lost a lot of rappers in 2021. We also lost legends as far as Cicely Tyson and Larry King. I just wanted to make sure I shouted out, some of those people. last but not least, what advice would y'all give going into 2022?
Advice for 2022. I would say, in 2022, be intentional about the people in your life, and the actions you take in the next year. And of course, stay prayed up. And I would also say, man, live your life to the fullest as much as you can, right? Within safe confines, right? Just because, a lot of people have been losing their life over the last 2 years. And so if you're blessed to then live life, like have fun, enjoy the people in your life, enjoy your surroundings, like, yeah, because we done lost a lot of people, right? Like, it just seemed like every other, like all the time you're hearing about somebody passing away, whether they on the mainstream or, just somebody you locally just know, right? It just seems like it's happening more often. So I tell people to live life, like live as much, try something new, experience something new. If you've never done it before, try it out, right? As long as it's safe and all that good stuff, like try it out. Don't live your life in just a box. Like venture out and just do it safely. That's my thoughts for 2022.
Mr. Douglas.
Yeah, man, it's pretty much the exact same. More so with the focus on just expanding your own self, though. Set you some goals, achieve them. Got to be that's going to take you all year to get. You could be something small. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a lot of satisfaction off of achieving goals, whether they big or small. But a whole lot of people don't do that for themselves, though. They just live in the world day by day. Set yourself some goals, something that's obtainable. And when you reach that, keep going, keep moving forward, and understand that whatever it is that you want to do, you have the ability to do it. You got to set your mind to it and go on through it.
All right. I don't know, man, this year going into 2022 would be remain positive. Life is going to hit you. It's going to knock you down. So, one day it might be up. One day it might be down. But the best thing you can do is try to remain positive and keep progressing. That would be my advice for 2022. But I appreciate y'all doing this pod. Appreciate y'all taking the time out. You know what I'm saying? Ashley, your second appearance, your first appearance out. You know what I'm saying? Did you enjoy doing the pod?
I did. Appreciate you.
All right. Shout out to, I call him Juve the Great, doing the pod, even though he had some technical difficulties. Good get him back. And you already know Mr. Douglas, my dog.
That's right, man. Thank you for having me again.
All right, man. Y'all know what it is. Hold up and another thing presented by Mixed Vibes Media. Happy New Year to all y'all good folks. Later.